everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm going to be doing my September book haul. So I apologize for the lighting. You guys probably can't notice a difference, but it really bugs me because I'm kind of a good lighting fanatic, but it's really raining outside and I have no other time to film this, so it's just going to be a little bit pinker than usual. But I wasn't expecting to be doing a book haul in September because I did buy quite a few books in August, but alas, here I am doing another book haul. So let's just get into it. So the first book that I got is The Light Princess by George MacDonald. I actually got this for class. I had to read it for a class last year and I never picked up a copy, but now I have to read it for a class again this year, so I figured I might as well pick up a copy. I did really enjoy it when I read it last year, so I will be keeping this as kind of a keepsake. And also this copy has illustrations by Maurice Sendak, who is the illustrator of Where the Wild Things Are, and I find the illustrations to be really weird but really interesting, and some of them are just super weird, but yeah, I really liked this book, so I figured why not pick up a copy. Next up, I actually have a few books that I had gotten in August but I forgot to include in my book haul. So the first one is Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. I've decided that I'm going to be collecting each of the individual plays because right now all I have is a complete works and I really want to have the plays individually, so I can't decide which edition, so I'm kind of collecting two right now. This one right here is the new Pelican Shakespeare and they are so gorgeous. I love the whole kind of geometric covers of them, and Romeo and Juliet, I mean, this one is perfect and I just absolutely adore these. They're so sleek and just really aesthetically pleasing. Next up, I got Twelfth Night by Shakespeare. This one is the only one out of the three that I got in the Pelican Shakespeare editions that I haven't read yet, but I'm really excited to read Twelfth Night. I know it's kind of like, I think it's like, no, not Sydney White. What's it called? It's like She's the Man, the Amanda Bynes movie, which is so classic, and I've heard lots of great things about Twelfth Night, and I love the comedies, and this one is a comedy. The Pelican Shakespeare's, the way they did it is the background is white for the comedies and it's black for tragedies and histories, so I just think they're absolutely beautiful, and this one is no exception. You can't really see it because of the lighting, but it's just so nice and I love the geometric shapes. They're coming out with more in this month and I'm going to have to like try and physically restrain myself from getting all of them. And the next one that I got is actually the first one that I got, and that is A Midsummer Night's Dream by Shakespeare. This is my absolute favorite Shakespeare play and it just has a special place in my heart for being the play that made me really love Shakespeare. It's one of the first ones that I read on my own just for enjoyment and I loved it. So I just love this play and I had to get this edition of it because it's just so beautiful and I absolutely love these Pelican Shakespeares. So like I mentioned, I can't really decide which edition of Shakespeare I want because they're all so nice, so I've been collecting two, and this is the next one that I've been collecting. These are the Modern Library editions and this is The Merchant of Venice. They all feature like a photograph that is kind of like close up, but there's something about the covers and the photographs that are so pleasing. Like this one I just love, and it is just so prevalent to the story and I just think it's beautiful. The Merchant of Venice I've read for class twice and I do really enjoy it. It's one of my favorite. It's technically a comedy, but it's kind of like that genre bending comedy, but I love that one and I'm really excited that I have a copy of it. And the last Shakespeare book that I got is Love Labour's Lost, and this is once again the Modern Library edition. I love the cover of this one too. You see, it's kind of just like a really nice, pleasing photograph and I love the colors of it. The spines are really simple but they look so nice when they're all together. Like I keep on walking by them at work and I'm like, I want them all, but I have to tame myself. But yeah, I really enjoy this cover and I haven't actually read this one yet and I'm looking forward to getting into it. Next up is Black Dove, White Raven by Elizabeth Wine. You guys know that Elizabeth Wine is one of my favorite authors. I absolutely love her. She's the author of the Codename Verity duology and she just writes fabulous historical fictions, and I remember hearing about this book briefly, but for some reason it just completely went out of my brain, the fact that she had a new book that I hadn't read yet. And then I was walking past the shelf where her books are at work and then I saw that there was another one and I was like, what the heck, like how have I not read this yet? So I had to pick it up immediately. I haven't actually read it yet, but now I do have it on my TBR shelves and I plan on reading it very soon. soon. I honestly have no idea what it's about. I just knew that it was by her and that had me sold. I'm assuming it has something to do with pilots because one, there's a plane on it, two, she writes a lot about pilots, and it's definitely a historical fiction, so I feel like it's a recipe for success. Next up, I picked up Frost Like Night by Sarah Rush. This is the third and final book in the Snow Like Ashes trilogy. You guys know that I have been loving that trilogy since it first came out. I've just been on board with it, and the conclusion came out this past week, and I'm so sad about it, but I'm really glad that I have it. But like, it's so bittersweet because I don't want it to be over, but I really want to know what happens, so I'm really looking forward to reading this soon. I am kind of taking a break from fantasy right now, like really high fantasy, just because reading Empire of Storms honestly felt like someone was punching me repeatedly in the face, just because those books, like, I love them, but they take so much out of me. They're like physically, emotionally, mentally just exhausting. So I'm taking a break from that and kind of going more towards historical fiction since it's fall, and I love historical fictions in fall, and like kind of contemporaries, things that I don't really have to stretch my imagination that much to understand. But as soon as I feel like I'm ready for a fantasy again, I will be picking this one up, and then after that I will be picking up Crooked Kingdom, which I don't have yet because, okay, I moved my TBR books to those two shelves right there, like the separate rainbow right there, and it's two shelves that are full, and I've promised myself that I'm not gonna let it go over those two shelves. But right now the two shelves are entirely full, so I can't pick up Crooked Kingdom yet, but as soon as I finish my current read, I'm going to get it. Next up is Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. This is actually the book that came in the September Owl Crate, so I will link my unboxing down below for you guys. I always love Owl Crate, and they have the best books in there. So I have been eyeing this book at work for a while, but like I said, can't buy any more because I'm trying not to. I really want to get my TBR down and just done with, and I want to be able to go to work and just pick up a book and read it that day. So I didn't buy this for myself, but it did come in the Owl Crate, so I was really pleasantly surprised by that. Kendare Blake is a Canadian author, so I love supporting Canadian authors, and I have no clue what this is about. I know it's a fantasy, and that's about all I know, but I just want to kind of go into it blind. Next up is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. This book actually came in the My Book box, which I got this month, so I will link my unboxing down below for you guys. I loved that box. I got 2 books in it, which the other one I will be getting to soon, but I was so excited to see this in there, and I had been eyeing it on Goodreads, and I just, for some reason, I never actually clicked on it and read the synopsis, but from what I understand, it's a fantasy that has to do with sorcery and all sorts of things like that, so it sounds like it's going to be awesome, and I just stuttered a lot, but it's fine. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get to this very soon. The other book that I got in the My Book box I'm just going to talk about briefly, and that is Furthermore by Tahara Mafi. I actually bought this book for myself last month, so I'm looking to return that copy and keep the copy that I got in My Book box, but I am so excited that I have this book, even though I have 2 copies. It just is such a beautiful book, so I really don't mind. Next up is Buffering, Unshared Tales of a Life Fully Loaded by Hannah Hart, and I was actually sent an arc of this for review by HarperCollins, so thank you so much to them for sending this to me. I have read it and I have filmed my review, I just have to edit and upload it, but I was really pleasantly surprised by this book. I wasn't really sure how I was going to like it going into it, just because I don't really read nonfiction, but I found reading about Hannah's life and how she kind of got to be who she is today was very interesting, and I think she has a great writing voice, and you could just really tell that it was her writing. Like, her voice really came through off the pages, which is awesome and so hard to do when you're writing, and I just think she has such an interesting story, and it was so nice to hear it told in this book. So once the review is up, I will link it down below for you guys. This is coming out October 18th, so be sure to pre-order and get your copy, because honestly, I think it's totally worth it. I think you guys will really enjoy it. So the last 3 books on here are books that I did not need, like, at all. But I decided to treat myself because I was just like, whatever, treat yourself. There was no reason for it. I made the mistake of going and watching videos and looking up basically everywhere on the internet, Alice in Wonderland collection. And I thought mine was big, but then I saw these people's and they have like 30 copies of the same book, and they're all so pretty, and I'm like, I don't even know how many I have, but I don't have 30, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm so behind and I need more. more, so I got more. So the first book in here is Walt Disney's Alice in Wonderland. This is the little golden book edition, which brings me back to childhood because I remember having so many of these little golden books, and I think we may have had a copy of this one from when I was a kid, and if we do, I'm scooping that up right away because that is mine. But I had to get it. I love Disney's Alice in Wonderland, and I mean, you guys know I love Alice, and I love the illustrations in here. They're just like the movie, and they're just so fun, and I absolutely adore it. So I couldn't help myself. I had to get it because I just can't be stopped. Then I also had to get this bad boy right here. So this is an edition of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Other Tales, so it's not just Alice, so it's different but the same. But this one has like the illustrations by John Tenniel, all of that, and it comes in its own little box, and the box is like so cool. Like, this one is by Knickerbocker Classics, and then you pull out the book, and the book itself is also just beautiful. Like, it really takes the card suits and uses that for the cover, and it's just, oh, it's so simple, but it's so pretty, and like the pages in here are so lovely, and it just has the whole story, and it has like all the illustrations, all of that. Like, I'm just so happy I have this in my life. And the final book in here is The Complete Alice by Lewis Carroll with the illustrations by John Tenniel. It has a different title, so it's the same, but it's different. That's how I'm justifying it. But I could not pass this up because it is absolutely beautiful. I just fell in love with it, and I kept on eyeing it at work. I mean, look at the pages. Like, they're sparkly, and they're red, and they're shiny, and it's just like everything I want in an Alice book is right here. And this is the 150th anniversary edition by Macmillan, and it is just so pretty. Oh my god. So I'm gonna open it on up. It's really heavy, so this is kind of a struggle, but I want to show you guys one of the illustrations because they did them, they colored them. So they did them in full color. They're originally in black and white, but they added color to them, and the color that they added is beautiful. Like, I have editions where they are colored in, but just something about the coloring, like, it looks like a painting, and it is so, so beautiful, and they all look like that. Considering getting that as a tattoo, there's also another image of her that I'm considering getting as a tattoo, but like, just look at this stuff. It is so beautiful, and I just can't get over it, and I'm so happy that I have this to add to my collection. So those are all the books that I got in September. It's kind of funny because I also ordered, I think there's 2 more Alice books that I ordered that I'm waiting for that were cheap. Like, I found one that's from the 60s that I ordered that I can't wait for it to come in, and then another one that's like this really weird edition that I'm so excited for. Let me know if you guys have a favorite edition of Alice in Wonderland with like a different illustrator, because most of mine right now are just the original John Tenniel illustrations, which I love, but I also kind of want to explore different illustrators because I know it's been illustrated a lot. It's just very hard to find other illustrators that have done it, and like when I'm trying to buy them. So let me know what your favorite is, and I'll see if I can find it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!